Hi, it's Chiquita, and I want to talk to you and inform you on the latest trend that's happening right now with sex trafficking victims. They are now being branded, yes, by the pimps. Even gang members are now involved in sex trafficking as well, but they are putting tattoos on these children as a way of marking their territory. In case one runs away, they can identify who they are, who they belong to. And it really saddens me that these children are being treated, like an animal. So many of these children are so afraid to open up to anyone for fear of the pimps, for fear of law enforcement, the fear of being locked up. They're afraid that no one will believe them, and so many of them have just lost hope. And I know that feeling all too well. Um, I felt that way as well at one point when I was caught into that. Right now, they're training law enforcement and hospital personnel to recognize these young victims, to recognize when they're being branded, and to get them help. So many children, they want help, they just don't know how to get it. And when you recognize that in them, when you recognize a child, a sex trafficking victim, even if they don't say anything to you, believe me, they want help. Currently, I live in a state rather, which is Atlanta, Georgia, and it's considered a hub for sex trafficking. I mean, these traffickers make anywhere up to $32,000 a week sex trafficking children. And the reason why Atlanta is considered a hub is because it's so large. There's so much to do here. There's so many conventions. There's so many parties, so many events, so many festivals. Just so much. And then you have this large airport that's so easily to get in and out of. Easy access to the freeways. And these traffickers, they know. They know. What's really been on my heart lately too is the missing teenagers in Washington, D.C. Or in the D.C. area. I shouldn't say Washington, D.C., but in the D.C. area. It's about 15 of them that's been missing, all within 3 weeks time span. And it hasn't made national news. My first thought is it sex trafficking? It's a strong possibility. What are we doing? We need to help our children. We need to bring this to the forefront. I mean, I understand that there are stories. I understand that Jada Pinkett Smith is doing her thing on sex trafficking, and I take my hat off to her for that. I am so glad that we are having people to bring this to the forefront. And I'm going to keep speaking on it because I am a survivor of it. I know the ins and outs. I know what these children are feeling. I know what it feels to be violated over and over and over, multiple times a day. And it breaks my heart to know that these children are suffering and going through that every day. The abuse, being injected with drugs to keep them sedated, to keep them calm, to keep them dependent, basically. So again, these children are being branded. They are being treated like animals. Like, it's disgusting. If you see any child, please, please call that national hotline number that I gave, that I'm putting up, and report it. You see a police officer, report it. We have to save our children, people. Listen, I know some of you probably don't want to hear about sex trafficking of these kids, but they're kids. They're our children. We have to help them. We have to. We have to. And pray for them. Pray for their safety. Pray for their return. Pray that they get delivered from that lifestyle. It's horrific. Sex trafficking is on the rise, even more so. And it's devastating. It's our next generation. Please help me to help them. Thank you.